history of basketball, there has never been a force quite like him. A 7'1", 325-pound giant with the strength of a freight train and the finesse of a ballerina. At his peak, Shaquille O'Neal wasn't just dominant, he was unstoppable. For a time, no one on this earth could guard him. Shaquille O'Neal was born on March 6, 1972, in Newark, New Jersey. His early life wasn't easy. His biological father left when he was a baby, and he was raised by his stepfather, Sergeant Philip Harrison, a strict military man who instilled discipline, structure, and accountability in Shaq from a young age. Moving from base to base, including a stint in Germany, young Shaq didn't have a stable home or community, but he found solace in sports, especially basketball. By the time he was a teenager, Shaq was already towering over his peers. At age 13, he stood 6'6". Coaches and scouts took notice not just of his height, but of his mobility and coordination. He attended Robert G. Cole High School in San Antonio, Texas, where he led his team to a 36-0 record and a state championship. Shaq committed to play college basketball at Louisiana State University (LSU) under Coach Dale Brown. At LSU, he was an absolute force. He averaged 21.6 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 4.6 blocks per game during his college career. He won multiple awards, including the Adolph Rupp Trophy, and was a two-time consensus All-American. He declared for the NBA draft after his junior year. The league was watching closely, and they knew he was coming. In 1992, Shaquille O'Neal was selected as the #1 overall pick by the Orlando Magic. The league hadn't seen a prospect as physically overwhelming since Wilt Chamberlain. From his very first game, Shaq was different. His debut season stats were staggering: 23.4 points, 13.9 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks per game. He won the Rookie of the Year award and instantly became one of the most marketable faces in the NBA. But beyond the stats, it was the spectacle. Shaq broke backboards and brought down entire rims. Against the New Jersey Nets, he dunked so hard he collapsed the entire goal structure. The league had to reinforce rims because of him. This was not normal dominance, this was mythic. With Penny Hardaway at his side, Shaq and the Magic became a rising force in the Eastern Conference. In 1995, Shaq led the Magic to the NBA Finals at just 23 years old. Though they were swept by Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Rockets, the message was clear: Shaq was coming. This loss was humbling. Hakeem's footwork and experience exposed the gaps in Shaq's game. But Shaq didn't crumble, he evolved. In 1996, Shaq made a franchise-altering decision. He signed a massive free agent deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. With the glitz of Hollywood, the promise of championships, and a young Kobe Bryant waiting in the wings, Shaq's second chapter had begun. At first, the Lakers were a work in progress. Shaq was still dominant. He averaged over 26 points and 11 rebounds per game, but the team lacked cohesion. Injuries, inconsistency, and clashes with coaches plagued the late 90s. But the turning point came in 1999 when Phil Jackson, fresh off his 6 titles with Michael Jordan, took over as head coach. Under Phil's triangle offense and championship vision, everything changed. Shaq had his most dominant season in 1999-2000, 29.7 points, 13.6 rebounds, 3 blocks per game. He won the league MVP and led the Lakers to a 67-15 record. From 2000-2002, the Lakers won 3 consecutive championships. Shaq was named Finals MVP each time. In the 2001 playoffs, the Lakers went 15-1, one of the most dominant runs in NBA history. His playoff performances were legendary. In 2000, he scored 61 points and grabbed 23 rebounds on his birthday. In the 2001 finals, he averaged 33 points and 15.8 rebounds per game against the Philadelphia 76ers. No one could stop him, not Dikembe Mutombo, not the double teams, not the fouling strategies. The alley-oop from Kobe to Shaq in Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals remains one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. It was a symbol of their uneasy but lethal partnership. Shaq's journey through the NBA featured legendary battles. In his early years, he struggled against Hakeem Olajuwon, whose quickness and finesse outmatched Shaq's brute force. Later, he battled Tim Duncan and David Robinson of the Spurs, a team known for its defense and structure. These matchups were chess games between power and discipline. Against Ben Wallace and the Detroit Pistons in the 2004 finals, Shaq was slowed down, not stopped, but it marked the beginning of the end of the Lakers dynasty. Alonzo Mourning, his longtime friend and rival from their college days, was another frequent opponent. And then there was Yao Ming, the international sensation from China, who brought a new flavor of size and skill to the league. But through all of these rivalries, one thing remained clear. At his peak, Shaq had no equal. Shaq wasn't just a wrecking ball, he had soft hands, great court vision, and a surprisingly refined post-game. His footwork, often overlooked, was influenced by hours of watching Hakeem and practicing ballet-like movements. He was a gifted passer out of double teams, and when he was focused, he was a surprisingly cerebral player. Off the court, Shaq's personality was larger than life. He rapped, acted, and entertained. He released multiple rap albums, starred in movies like Blue Chips and Kazam, and became a regular fixture in commercials. His humor and charisma made him a global icon. Whether it was his feud with Kobe, his role as a big brother to Dwyane Wade, or his transition to a beloved TNT analyst, Shaq always found a way to stay relevant. By 2004, tensions between Shaq and Kobe had reached a boiling point. The Lakers chose to keep the younger Bryant and traded Shaq to the Miami Heat. There, he found new life. Alongside a rising star in Dwyane Wade, Shaq re-established his dominance. In 2006, they won the NBA championship, with Shaq playing a critical role mentoring Wade and anchoring the paint. Though injuries and age began to take their toll, Shaq still managed to contribute. He later played for the Phoenix Suns, where he was dubbed the Big Cactus, and then had short stints with the Cavaliers and Celtics before retiring in 2011. This was the prime of a player who redefined dominance. Not finesse, not skill, just raw, relentless power. And for a few years, there was nothing anyone could do about it. If you enjoyed this documentary, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the legends who shaped the game. This is Fynk, where we bring you the facts and challenge you to think.